This is a teaser for my up-and-coming book, Out of Depth. During departure and for 8 hours into the flight, Marion acted as the hood's systems technician. This kept him occupied familiarising himself with the systems. Once satisfied they'd be fine without him for a while, he decided he was hungry and headed for the cruise eatery. He was feeling great. He had never been inside an Aquinas creature before, and the feeling the creature was emitting was one of complete and utter peace. Marion was surprised. His disguise was supposed to be visual only. He was supposed to look like an Aquinas, that's all. But he couldn't help but absorb these feelings, and his new Aquinas genes and awareness thrived within him. He found himself tapping his claws together, as happy Aquinas sometimes do. As he neared the eatery, the round muscular passageways got busier with other crew, and they smiled and clicked happily in greeting as they passed. This was all new to Marion. Pep crews were much more serious, Marion scowled in thought. He much preferred the biosphere he was feeling here in the soapy United Republic Forces hood. He turned the last corner of the corridor. The roundness lined with red and blue pulsating tissue led into a larger domed area. There were many bulbous masses about that Aquinas crews were gathered around, chirping and clicking, whistling merrily as they ate and talked to crewmates. On the left of the entrance, the wall was lined with many sphincters, teats and orifices. Marion recognised these as they were the same in Pep creatures. This was a dispensary for your meals. Marion was a little apprehensive, as Pep and Aquinas eating tastes could be quite different. He reasoned if he stuck to crustaceans and salads he should be fine, and this he ordered when he fronted the dispensary. Hood greeted him politely and thanked him when he left. Marion smiled. He got no such courtesy from a Pep dispensary. Unfortunately, the Hood's amiable manner distracted him from the meal he was given, and he didn't notice the strange collection of baby crabs and shrimps that wriggled in the small netted bag he was given. When he looked, none of them were familiar to him, and his good feelings faded. He was hungry, particularly fond of Pep cuisine. He wasn't fond of trying new tastes, and some Aquinas foods he found particularly disgusting. Several globular masses were unoccupied, and he made for one of these. He didn't notice the offers by other crew for him to join them at clusters that were not full. He suddenly felt lonely. He rocked his head from side to side. Was he kidding? Lonely? He needed to snap out of this Aquinas mood, he grumbled, and he took an angry bite of the net, 3 little crabs and a shrimp. His eyes widened. These were delicious! He'd never tasted anything so good, and instantly the good Aquinas feelings came flooding back. He turned and saw a crewmate looking at him. She was smiling. He smiled back, and instantly she beckoned for him to join her, and the other 2 Aquinas who were dining at the next cluster. He took a deep breath in. He couldn't hide, even if he was supposed to be undercover. The best way to be undercover, he reasoned, was to play the part to the finest detail. The crewman he replaced would have undoubtedly joined in, so he did. He introduced himself as Trebor, as this was his cover. They welcomed him aboard and asked him where his last posting had been. He fed them his cover story and they accepted it without question. They were all very friendly, and immediately he felt at ease. After the meal he excused himself, saying he was tired as the last posting was in a different time zone and he still hadn't caught up. This part was at least true. They parted company, laughing and promising to catch up during the next off-duty period. Marion hadn't felt this good for as long as he could remember. This was a holiday compared to working on a Pep creature. His private area was on the opposite side of the narrowing passageway to his duty station, and curiosity got the better of him, so he checked in to see if the minor systems were okay. Guess what? They were. He hadn't expected to find them any other way. That night, Marion's dream started nice and fluffy like an Aquinas, but soon he found himself back in the bar in Jamesburg. He'd forgotten about the bar. Perhaps the shock had pushed it from his mind, but it came flooding back and he awoke from his slumber screaming. He sat up and vomited his dinner. Several small medics appeared and darted about, clearing away his stomach contents. Another medic swam up behind his neck and gently kissed it. He felt the warmth enter his body from that point and felt better, but he still couldn't stop weeping. How could he have killed those Peps? He didn't remorse the Aquinas border guards. He was rocking his head from side to side, chirping quietly, "No, no,